Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up for this Wednesday, the 6th of October, 2021, right at 7 p.m. Grain markets just opened. That's how I know it's 7 p.m. They literally just did it. Energy's down a little bit right now. Bonds and notes fairly stable. Now, there's an event that took place. Mitch McConnell, late today, did make an offer from the Republican Party within the Senate as to how to give a kick of the can. I'm kicking my foot here so you can't see it. Let's kick the can into December. We'll agree with you on a certain number on a debt ceiling increase until then, but this is only until then. Work things out. I think that's pretty logical. Why wouldn't you take that if you're the Democrats? They're cornered. Do they want to go into the filibuster right now? Why not use this time giving it themselves? Remember, they'll use all the time they can get. So if you think, if Mitch McConnell says December 15th as an example, you probably won't get anything really done until December 1st at the earliest. That's just how politicians work. They'll fight. They'll do whatever. They'll try to corner. I even was cracking up when I read the note because all the note is that he sent, and he did it via Twitter that I'm putting in my newsletter, and it attacks them being the Democrats every which way. Both parties don't know how to get along. It's always an attack, an attack, an attack. I'm tired of it. I think you're tired of it. We know it's theatrics. We know this is about midterm elections. We understand all that. But we also understand that there's got to be fiscal control. So it's more than the theatrics. There is meat to all this. And the question is one of radical spending, the way it first came out in a bill from the Democrats, maybe not so radical when it gets done. One of wanting to win the Congress back by the Republicans at all costs. That's what you're dealing with. Okay. The stock market knows it. Up and away you go on that news. This is good news. So the debt ceiling, I expect we all wake up and that's not going to be where we're at. And I think that impacts everything we look at. So when we, excuse me, I hit the wrong button there. When we take a look at the gold market, where does that put us? Well, the gold is still underneath the 18-week moving average of closes. For the week, it's pretty flat. It's up 0.3%, up $5 at this point, knowing all that news. Remember what I was telling you. The market had taken steps down, and suddenly it's gone with this type of weird pattern right here. And it's a very strange pattern. You have a higher high, lower low. When I put on all the figures, you'll understand why I think it's strange. All going against the 18-day average as you're churning now. The market threw out originally, I think right here, a buy signal when it got up and finished right over the 18-day average, 1767.50, and you were up here right over it. And you shouldn't have taken out an outside day ups low within 2 trading sessions. That's the first one. Here's the second. You took it out. So this now becomes a bear trap. When that occurs, you often, the word is often, make a run for the lower Bollinger Band, and I'll show you where that's at right now. That's down here, unless, keyword, unless you immediately come back and take out the high, which would be 1771.10. But you're in a whipsaw. If you're trying to play for that, no. I walked away from that first one because this pattern is identical to what happened here. Now, I don't know this kicking the can down the road on the debt ceiling, is that going to help gold or not? You can't tell off that chart. I can tell you that the momentum is up. The bias is up. You're void of trend. If the market can run, well, up here's some possible numbers, but it's not a trend number. You end up, no matter what, having a lower low, higher high on this type of pattern. On the gold-silver ratio, knock, knock, knock. Who's knocking on the door? Silver. Silver's saying it wants to start gaining on gold if it can get itself back under this 18-day moving average of closes. When this happened back here, you saw what happened, and that's a sign of silver gaining. So you've gone back to the level where it's neutral. Now the question is, can it do anything with it? When you look at silver, you see the story. I think silver throws out a short term, let's get up and go, if it gets over 22.80 and a half. That's important. That would give you higher lows, higher highs, potentially get up to the 2370 level. The problem is when you do that, you're going to get overbought fairly fast. That's still an end to this bear phase. And when's the last time we closed over this 18-day average? You have to go back here at the beginning of September. So it's been a month. Maybe that's the beginning of something better. That's how I look at it. Copper should come alive next week. Now, why is Ira saying next week? I always like to say third person. Who's that guy, Ira? Where's China been this whole week? Vacation. It's a national holiday. So as they come back there, they'll start looking at this market. The trend is down, lower highs, but you have a higher low. In theory, it's not a true trend. It's now got lower highs, higher lows. You could go right back to this 18-day average to fight the battle there and see what's going to happen. I am looking for the Bollinger Bands to wrap their arms and narrow in this trading. It's too broad and wild, but I think that's because you lost the Chinese buyers this whole week. In the platinum market, you've been fighting a battle at the 18-day average of closes. Today was a big update. Do you see this? You made the most recent low, and you came back and made the most recent high all at one time. And you've been hitting this 18-day average all the way through here. If the market can mount an assault, maybe we can get up to the 10,860 level. Possible. You're already getting into an area where you're getting close to being overbought. I view any number over 70 as overbought. Metals have not been the place to be. The place to be is Bitcoin. Ether, they have come alive. They've taken over the leadership from gold. I know people will say that to me, you don't know what you're talking about. Nah, a chart's a chart, and it's done its job. So that's where the young people have moved. They are looking at that. Now, is the relationship the same as with gold to inflation? That I don't know. But they're using that as the vehicle, not the gold market. Gold is passé for those people. In the palladium market, lower highs, lower lows, but so oversold. Why would one want to risk their money with that? And in the dollar, you're overbought. Now, as I said, I was surprised that the dollar hasn't gone. If you take a look here, the question is it going to take out that high? I have been betting that the dollar would fall because it lost its embedded reading back to wherever the 18-day average is. But if you get my morning subscriber video, I've been warning on that a couple of things. I've been saying, folks, what's happened is you normally, when you lose the reading, you fall to that 18-day average quickly. The longer it takes, it tells you that it's no more than a correction within that market. It's not a major change of trend. That's what I think is going on. We had our live webinar today. I hope you attended it. And I want you to do me a favor, by the way. If you like these videos, what's wrong with a thumb up? If you don't like it, cut your thumb off and just pretend that you don't like me. But don't give me the thumbs down. Now, here's what I want you to do if you want to have some fun with me. In the mornings, I put out your morning video. Now, at 5, I get up at about 3:34 in the morning, hang around the bed for a while. I'm watching financial TV. I've got my phone. I'm reading everything that's going on in the world. I'm out of bed at 4:30. I'm having my coffee. I'm writing by 4:40. I'm really well read. And at 5:30 or so, I start recording a video. Now, on the weekends, I'm going to do it a little different. But on the weekday, I'm going to give you ideas on the short term, the swing trades, and the longer term positions. I want to be your chart guy. I want you to say, hey, I'm looking at gold. I'm looking at platinum. What does Ira think? What is Ira thinking of copper? What's he thinking in the ETF copper? I want to be that guy for you. So I start recording about 5:40 in the morning. No later than 6:30, you typically have everything I've got. And on the weekends, on Saturdays, I record a weekend edition for you. Now, you can watch this easily on a pad. You can watch it on, I don't care what kind of smartphone you have. It'll work on all of them. And, of course, our website's the best place to go because on the website, I also have a scroll menu where you're able to move through everything very quickly, and it tells you the section you're at. But I'm going to start you off with the news of the day. News is key because it tells you to have any key reports coming out. I'm not covering a few charts. I'm going to cover 40 some odd charts. That's why the video is typically 15 to 20 minutes long. I cover all these markets in a sequence, whereas you pull a scroll bar here, it lights up and tells you exactly where you're at with the market. It makes life very, very easy for you. How do you get this? It's so simple. You go to the website, under the word research, it's all there. Try it, $7.95. You're going to get 24 videos for the month, each about 20 minutes long. Tell me anybody else that is doing that with specific buy and sell. But I throw in another thing. Let's assume you're looking at a chart and you want my opinion on something different. It could be a spider, a stock, a futures market. Write me. I will create that chart for you and get back to you, but I'm not going to do it if you're not a paid subscriber. Is that fair enough? I think you'll find it's well worth the time and the effort. I do take phone calls, by the way. I can't take them all day long because I'm doing so much. I have a very scheduled day, including break time for myself. And during break time, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be able to take a walk. I want to do whatever and then come back to the market. I want to stay healthy. If you have questions, call my staff. Do it this way. Remember, thumbs up if you like these videos. See the thumb, I'll bring it back. You take care.